Then I will ask him. Hussein called his friend and said a few words. Then he smiled and said, he is close and will be here in a minute. In a minute, they heard a knock on the door. Hussein opened the door and a guy wearing a hat and sunglasses walked in. Friend, this is a military school. You think you can scare anyone by dressing like this? Cool Lily commented bitterly. Lily, Ji Yanran pulled her sleeve. The man laughed. That is true. I wear these because I was afraid of trouble. He took off the hat and sunglasses, revealing a handsome face. Several people inside the room were suddenly dumbfounded, especially the Ku Lily and Zhang Yang. Tang Zhenliu. Ku Lily stuttered, not expecting her idol would appear here. And she seemed to have been rather mean to him. Hi. I am Hussein's friend Tang Zhenliu. I hope I did not disturb you, Tang said with a smile. No, of course not. Ku Lily, who was nagging all the time, suddenly turned into a shy girl. Hussein felt amused, and thought, there is always one thing to conquer another. A girl like Ku turned into a kitty cat when seeing Tang Zhenliu. Nice. Now she probably won't try to give me a hard time. Hussein introduced everyone, basically just his friends, to Tang Zhenliu, since everyone knew who Tang was. Zhang Yang shook Tang's hand very excitedly. He had always admired Tang's fierce broadsword skills and saw Tang as his idol and goal, so he was thrilled to meet Tang in person. Tang Zhenliu, I will beat you one day, said Zhang Yang, holding Tang's hand. Tang froze, and Hussein nearly died laughing. He explained, Tang, these words from Zhang Yang are absolutely without any malice. Among the people whom this guy will beat are the Shura King, Alliance President, and lots of senators. Tang Zhenliu suddenly came to understand it. He smiled and said, Zhang Yang, it would be my honor to be beaten by you. The girls both grinned. Tang Zhenliu, if you were in a black and white boxing match with Hussein, will you win? Ku Lily asked unexpectedly. 60-40. Tang gave a reluctant laugh and blinked at Hussein. Hussein is so strong that he stands a 40% chance of beating you? Quote. Zhang asked, surprise. Ahem, I mean I only stand a 40% chance of winning, Tang said helplessly. The rest looked at Hussein as if he was a stranger. Someone like Tang Zhenliu said he only stood a 40% chance of winning when playing against Hussein. This was so hard for them to imagine. Tang ranked second in the chosen. After Tang Zhenliu left, Hussein resumed his routine and spent most of his time in the heavy warframe society. There remained to be many problems in his operation techniques. He could easily beat anyone on campus, but in the finals of Starry Cup, he might not be able to get the championship. The championship of the finals was very rewarding, and Hussein was quite interested. Soon bad news came from the sponsor of Starry Cup. Hussein and his Silver Killer were disqualified, on the grounds that Hussein had used an ineligible warframe. Blackhawk protested this decision and tried to approach the Starry group, but the group insisted that Hussein and Silver Killer be disqualified. The reason for Starry Group's adoption of this strong attitude was that their young master Son of Heaven had ordered them to kick Hussein out. It did not matter who had objection. The decision had been made. Hussein's disqualification aroused a lot of controversy in the Military Academy League. Some cheered the decision and some said they could not accept it. The biggest controversy was whether or not the Silver Killer should be considered ineligible. Starry Cup had not specified the details of the participating warframes, so what Starry Group called ineligible was just there. Version. I know that there must be something wrong with the Warframe. As a freshman, there is no other explanation for his victory. But how did his Warframe violate the rules? Starry Group did not give a reasonable explanation, so it is difficult to convince the public. It violated some rules for sure. I think that Hussein is the son of some general and thus uses a military Warframe. Or else why couldn't we find it on the market? Quote, it is a military Warframe for sure, which cannot be used in a alliance. Hussein has violated the law and should he arrested and interrogated. I thought he was somebody, but he simply cheated with a Warframe. If you give me a good military Warframe now, I can definitely become the champion of a school division in the contest. This is extremely unfair to the other players. I think it is not enough to cancel his qualification. They should cancel his division championship as well. Indeed, why was such a person made a champion? Quote, there were a lot of posts criticizing Hussein all of a sudden on Skynet. Needless to say, Son of Heaven was behind that. Many students who did not know the truth were also confused by these voices. After all, it must be true what all men say. But at this time, Hussein chose to ignore those. Digang had agreed to Hussein's terms and signed a contract with him. There were many activities that he needed to attend. One of the most important activities was that Digang would host a Digang Warframe match on the 10th of the next month. And Hussein had to participate in it. And the period of time before the match would see overwhelming advertising campaigns of the new Warframe, SKTS. On the 10th of the next month, the Digang Warframe match would start. And SKTS would be launched, while Starry Cup finals would also begin. As the spokesperson of Digang, Hussein needed to appear in its commercials and campaigns, which he was glad to oblige. His Silver Killer had already been sent back to the lab to have a weapon system installed. But even if he still had it, Hussein could not operate Silver Killer. Because the only Warframe he should be driving for the time being was SKTS. SKTS had almost the same appearance as Silver Killer, but its performance level was much lower. As a prototype, Silver Killer was even better than ordinary military Warframes, let alone the civil ones. But the outsiders could not distinguish between Silver Killer and SKTS at all. From their looks, they were the same Warframe.